Well done for mastering all games, Yonchi. You are probably wondering about a few things like, how is this all going to come together? Let's start at the beginning. We start an Ulti session by randomly picking a dealer. They shuffle the deck and deal the cards. The player on the dealer's right gets 12 cards. The others get 10 each. The player with 12 cards starts bidding. They pick 2 cards from their hand and put them on the table face down. Those cards are now in the talon. This player then needs to bid with a game. The next player to the right can either pass, which means they accept the current bid, or they can pick up the 2 cards in the talon and continue bidding. If they choose to continue bidding, they must put 2 cards back in the talon and outbid the current highest bid. These 2 cards can be any 2 from their hand, even the same 2 they just picked up. Bidding continues this way until all players have passed. The winning bid decides what type of game will be played, and the bidder will become the solo player as well as the starting player. Your bid always reflects the combination of games you take upon yourself to win. Let's take a look at the bid values of the games you've learnt. Each game has a very specific bid value. Simple is worth 1. 40-100 is 4, Betli is 5, Durchmarsch is 6, 20-100 is 8. Ulti and 4 aces are both worth 4 plus 1. The plus means that there are actually 2 games being played at the same time. For example, in Ulti, it is the Ulti itself, 4, plus Simple, 1. These games can be won separately during a match. For example, it is possible that the solo player wins the Ulti by taking the last trick with the 7 of trumps, while the team wins the Simple by scoring more points by the end. Some games can be joined to create a higher bid value. For example, you could bid 40-100 Durchmarsch, then the values of the game get added up to 10. There are some combinations that are not allowed though. For example, you cannot mix Betli with anything, simply because you can't lose everything and win something at the same time. Similarly, Simple cannot be added to anything. It is already included in 4 aces and Ulti as the +1, and it is impossible for someone to win 40-100, 20-100 or Durchmarsch without also winning Simple. A bid with fewer games outbids another of the same value but with more games. For example, 40-100 Ulti is worth 8. 20-100 is also worth 8, yet it outbids 40-100 Ulti because it has fewer games involved. There are 2 more ways you can increase the value of your bid. You can choose to make your bid red to double its value, but then the trump suit for this match will have to be red. You cannot pick red as the trump suit any other way. Although there is no trump suit in Betli and trumpless Durchmarsch, you can still add red to those bids, just to double their value. They will remain without a trump suit still. For any combination that has Betli or Durchmarsch, you can also add open to double the bid value. If you declare a bid open, everyone will play with an open hand after the first trick has been taken. When they are allowed, you are free to combine red and open as you see fit, except if you are playing a trumpless game. In that case, a red bid is worth double. An open bid is worth 4 times the original value, and they cannot be combined. Don't worry, you don't have to remember all this. Your bid sheet will show you what each game is worth and which ones can be combined. After bidding has concluded, the starting player declares the trump suit if there is one. Remember, if your bid was red, this must be red. Otherwise, you'll need to pick from the other 3. During the first trick of a game that has a trump suit, each player must claim their 20s or 40, otherwise they lose their claim. During the first trick, the team also has the opportunity to counterbid parts or the whole of the solo player's game, doubling the value of the bid. The most common case is someone counterbidding the Simple of an Ulti, 4 plus 1. Which doubles the value of the +1, so the bid is then worth 4 plus 2. During the second trick, the solo player may react with another counterbid, once again doubling the value of the bet. Players may continue counterbidding each other this way as long as they like, until they hit the maximum at times 128. After all this, the match is played according to the rules of the games in the highest bid. After the last trick, we look at the results and determine who's won. the winning conditions are judged separately for each game and their bid values are tallied up. Players win the bid value of every game they've managed to win, but lose the value of every game they've lost. Let's look at Ulti, 4 plus 1. If the solo player wins both the Ulti and Simple, that's 4 plus 1, which is 5. If they win the Ulti but lose the Simple, that's 4 minus 1, which is 3. As long as you win more than what you lose, you are the winner. But be careful, you can easily lose more than what you win. For example, if the highest bid was 2000 Ulti, and the solo player wins the Ulti but loses 2000, that's 4 minus 8, which is minus 4. The solo player gets their winnings from both members of the team, so they end up gaining double the amount if they win. But the solo player has to pay both team members if they lose, so they end up losing double the amount too. And if the solo player loses an Ulti, they lose an extra 4 points, just for fun. Players, both solo and team, can win a game silently. A silent game means that by the end of the match, you have satisfied the condition of a game that was not part of the highest bid. For example, if the highest bid was Durchmarsch, and you also managed to win the last trick with the 7 of trumps, that's a silent Ulti. The possible silent games are Ulti, 4 aces, Durchmarsch, and Silent 100. Silent 100 is when you win Simple with at least 100 points. There is no silent Betli. Watch out though, because it is possible to lose a silent Ulti. If you keep your 7 of trumps till the end and don't win the final trick, that's a failed attempt at silent Ulti. In terms of winnings, the silent games are worth half their regular value. That's it. Now you know all the rules. Are you ready to play?